Hi, everybody. Happy Monday. Today, we are focusing on this big mama right here, the Kokoist Max Magnet. This little magic wand is one that we released recently after the release of our Yume magnetic gels. And honestly, the only problem I can find with this little magic wand is that it keeps selling out. Now, we did recently get it back in stock. It is available on kokoistusa.com right now. But today, I'm going to be focusing on telling you why this little monster is so fantastic. Little history lesson here. If you've been around for a minute and you have watched the progression of the Kokoist magnetic gel story, you will recognize this little guy right here. Kind of a classic magnet. It's got the little rectangular side and the round side as well. This is something that we've seen very, very commonly in the industry, especially early on. It's really fun because you have two different shapes, so you can kind of play with the magnetic lines in your design. Very beginner friendly, very fun to play with, not super strong. That just means it will pull the magnetic particles a little bit more slowly. And if you're working with a long nail or a very wide nail, you may have to work a little bit harder with this kind of magnet. So as time went on, we were seeing a little bit more of a need for an expansion in the magnetic tool line. And we came out with the high power bar magnet. Now this little mama is much stronger than the 5D magnet wand. It is an all-around bar shape, skinny on one side, wide and flat on the other. I really like working with this skinny side facing the nail just because it gives you a little bit more control. But the way that this magnet pulls particles is much stronger than the 5D magnet, and it's going to give you a little bit of a different finish as well, just because of the strength and the length and shape of it. And still a lot of options as far as what kind of designs and shapes you can pull with this bar magnet, but because it is a straight magnet, it's, more akin to straight line designs or those kind of velvet finish designs where you're just pulling the magnet gels in certain ways, more like straight lines, cat eyes, velvet finishes, stuff like that. And then a few months ago, we came out with the Yume magnet series, which if you've played with these, you may know that the particles within these magnetic gels move a little bit more slowly and take a little bit more convincing when it comes to creating the finishes that you're looking for. And that's just due to the overall formulation and the kind of particles that are within this magnetic gel. So we needed something stronger. And so was born the Max Magnet. Kokoist Japan has in the Gellist partnership line a cylindrical magnet that was very, very popular for use with the Yume magnet series. They put their little heads together and they came out with the Max Magnet for both markets. So this is a cylinder style magnet. It's got a really nice silicone grip on it, so it feels really good. It's nice and weighty and it is super strong. I have never had a magnet this strong. This is like super crazy. The way that it pulls the magnetic particles is really, really quick. So it's great for longer nails, it's great for wider nails, it's great for really getting a fast, very dramatic effect. Really makes the Yume magnetic gels much easier to use. So I'm going to do a couple little demonstrations for you and show you how I like to use the Max Magnet to get the best finish out of all of my magnetic gels. Let me show you what I mean. So I'm going to start with a few demonstrations with the Velvet Magnet VM40 Squid Ink Magnet. This is one of my favorite colors in the collection. It's going to be great for fall. Just going to paint a nice even coat. And I always like to finish with light strokes just to make sure I'm eliminating any streakiness in my gel color. Because if you see streakiness in the metallic finish before you apply the magnetic finish, it's definitely going to show through that magnetic finish. So get it nice and smooth as you possibly can. I'm just going to show you how it looks when we use each different magnet. So I'm going to start with the magnetic wand, the classic one. And just to do a classic velvet finish, I'm going to go side, side, and then up from the tip. So one side, pull the glitter over, one side, that kind of opens up the glitter, and then pulling up from the tip. You're going to notice that it's a much softer finish than the ones I'm going to be showing you. Gives you a nice finish, but very, very soft and kind of dreamy. Still very pretty, but let me show you what I mean with the other ones. So fresh coat of my squid ink magnet here, and I'm going to be using the bar high power magnet now, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to go side, side, and tip. So one side, other side, and then coming from the tip. And you can see how much deeper this finish is with the high power magnet. Another fresh sample stick here, and we're going to go in with Big Mama, the high power magnet. It also just feels so nice in your hand. The weight of it is really, really lovely. Now we're going to do the same thing. We're going to go one side, and then right along the tip. Now watch this. I'm going to come in from the side, and look how close I have to be. I'm like inches away from the nail, and it's already affecting the particles within this magnetic gel. So I come down one side, pull all my glitter over, and then I come down the other side and really open all that up. And then I'm going to work along the free edge, kind of far away, and then move in closer. If you're not careful, this magnet can make a fool out of you. So work with patience, but it moves really, really quickly. Do you see the amount of flash that we get with this high power magnet? It's just insane. Now, if you're not careful and you play with it too much, you can make that magnetic finish disappear. It basically just makes all of those particles lay down in a way that does not reflect any light. So you want to be careful about that. But if this happens to you, all you have to do, you don't have to wipe it off. You can just use the brush with like nothing on it from the bottle and brush it right back out. You don't need to add any more product. Basically what you're doing is just resetting those particles so that you can reactivate them with the magnet again. This magnet is one of my favorites if I want to do what I call like a light chaser effect, or some people call it like the ball of fire effect. I'll activate all that glitter and then come around in a circle, push down, come around right here, and then it creates your light chaser ball of fire effect really quickly. Let me show you what's going on with the Yume magnetic gels. This is YM46, the Yume apricot. These are designed to be quite subtle. They're designed to very much look like just a nude nail once you activate them, and then when the light hits them, they have this beautiful sheen of the accent color. Even with the Max Magnet, these particles are going to move a little bit more slowly, so you want to just move a little more slowly with it. So I'll take my Max Magnet and just really be patient and move down the side of the nail, and then come to the other side here and move down much more deliberately than I would with the squid ink magnet until you start to see that shift form. And then you can kind of pull at the tip a little bit as well. It is tricky to show in the light sometimes, but that is the whole idea with the Yume series. Yume means dream in Japan, and it's almost like you want it to feel like, was it a dream? Did I even see that glitter shift inside this news nail? Is she a businesswoman or is she a unicorn? What are we working with here? But with this Max Magnet, it definitely makes this finish much more accessible. But you can see when I point my tip right into the light there, when it's away from the light, it looks very much like a nice nude nail. And then in the light, it just catches that apricot shifty shimmer within it. It's super beautiful and really great for people who want some nail design, but maybe can't do it for their everyday life, or just want a little bit of an extra flash of a look twice kind of divide. So there you go. Trust me, if you are considering picking up the Max Magnet, highly recommend it. It is definitely a huge game changer when it comes to working with magnetic gels. I will still keep the high power bar style magnet in my collection right next to me on my station, because it's nice to have two different shapes if I want to get a particular kind of finish in my manicure. Sometimes the high power magnet will give me more of that finish a little bit more accurately than the Max Magnet. But honestly, 90% of the time, I'm reaching for Big Mama. If you have any questions about this whatsoever, we have our cute little comment section down below. Feel free to drop your questions in there. We'll do our very best to get back to you as quickly as possible. Thank you so much for tuning in. I always appreciate it. Stay busy, stay inspired, and we'll see you right back here in 7 days for another episode of Monday Masters. Take care.